Welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast. My name is Madi and I'm joined by my co-host Ben. And it is great to have you joining us for this episode.
Yes, hello listeners and welcome to episode number 117.
Thanks, Ben. And what are we talking about on Arsenal Kids Podcast this time?
Well, Maddie, let's talk about our trip to Melbourne, Australia to watch the women's team play a post-season exhibition match against an Australian A-League All-Stars team.
Which they won 1-0. And then in part 2,
let's round up on some news, including one of our women's players who has re-signed with the club.
And which of our players is up for the WSL Goal of the Season.
Yes, that is all to come. But a reminder to you to help us to grow our Arsenal Kids community. And you can do that through liking, reviewing and sharing our podcast with others or following us on social media. And a big shout out to those who we bumped into while we were in Melbourne.
And a special welcome if you are a new listener. We would love for you to join us in this adventure together.
We would indeed, and straight to Marvel Stadium, where it was marketed as Global Football Week, with other games being played, including the first game prior to the Arsenal women, which saw a Newcastle United men's team get thumped 8-0 by an A-League All-Stars men's side.
But we weren't there for that. We went to see the Arsenal women!
Absolutely. And we did see them, as the majority of the supporters seemed to be there to see the Arsenal with lots of red and lots of white, and with a team that mixed some youth with a lot of experience. The Arsenal were on top of that A-League All-Stars side for much of the opening period. And they came close to opening the scoring when Victoria Pelova won the ball in a dangerous area before Alessio Russo struck it wide.
It wouldn't have counted though, as the referee had blown for a foul.
The All-Stars team then had a couple of chances, one fired over the bar and another a soft effort at Sarah Bahati in the Arsenal goal, making her first Arsenal appearance. But one of the bright lights on the night, Academy graduate Vivian Leah, was looking lively, and as the game approached halftime, she provided a sumptuous delivery from the right ring for Russo to powerfully head into the bottom right corner, making the score
1-0 to Arsenal!
And it was great to hear that song and many other songs sung around the ground. We heard a lot of the Katie McCabe song Where We Were, and also Caitlin Ford's song with the Vegemite as well.
It was great to hear the Gunner fans in full voice supporting the girls while they are on the other side of the world.
It was. And then just before halftime, there was a goalkeeping substitution from the A-League women's team, with former gunner Lydia Williams being replaced. And the phrase, once a gunner, always a gunner, was true on this occasion, as she received a standing ovation from the crowd.
At the halftime break, our head coach made 4 changes,
with Steph Catley among those being withdrawn from the game by Jonas Eidevall, apparently due to some muscle tightness, so hopefully she will be okay. But coming onto the field, it was great to see Taya Goldie making her return from her ACL injury and being back on the field for Arsenal again.
Ford had the first sight of goal at the second half from an hour ago, but it was saved by the goalkeeper.
And then with about a half an hour to go, we replaced our goalkeeper, with Bahati making way for Naomi Williams. And she made an early catch which would have settled, I think, any nerves that she had. Ford again had a shot from distance which was saved, and Katrin Kuhl also had one. But it was too central as the Gunners continued to look for a second goal. But then there was a big moment for Naomi Williams as the A-League attacker went through our defence to go one-on-one with our keeper, but Williams stretched out to her right to make a big save, ensuring that we held on to our 1-goal lead and end the season on a high.
And our player of the game is Katie Reid.
Yes, Katie. She played the full 90 minutes in the heart of the defence and was solid both in possession with good positioning and movement, but also in her defending, keeping the A-League All-Star forwards very quiet on the night. It was an outstanding performance from the youngster, and in general, it was great to see many of our academy players do so well on the night and not be overawed by the experience.
And next up for the team, Ben?
Well, Maddie, that is it for the season. Many of the players will be heading off for international duty soon. I think the Australian Matilda players were heading to Adelaide. A number will also be going on to compete at the Olympics. But you know, wherever they go, we're going to have the news right here on Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Well, let's leave it there for part 1. And we will be right back after this with part number 2. Welcome back. And Ben, let's talk about Stina Backstenius, who has signed another contract with the Arsenal.
Yes, we can report that our 28-year-old Swedish international forward, who has scored 43 goals in 83 appearances for the Gunners since joining us in January of 2022, she has signed a new contract. She made her first appearance from the bench against Manchester United on the 19th of January, and it is great to have her sign on when many, including me, thought that she might be headed elsewhere.
She is known for her goal-scoring ability and runs in behind defence.
And she has been our top goal scorer in both of her 2 full seasons with the club, netting 18 goals in the 2022-2023 season, and then most recently she netted another 18 goals in the 23-24 season.
She has also scored an extra time winner in our recent Conti Cup final victory.
She did, as you might remember, we secured a dramatic win over Chelsea to clinch the trophy for the second successive year, with Stina also being the one who found the net in the 2023 final. She says that the club has come to feel like her home and that she is hungry to achieve more together.
We are delighted that Stina will be staying, and you can find out more about the player in episode 100 when we did her player profile.
You can find it there. And in other women's team related news, as we're both on a bit of a women's team buzz still, having just got home from being in Melbourne to see them in person.
I still can't believe it. I believe I got to watch the Arsenal. I even got my picture taken with Gonosaurus.
I know, and we have uploaded that one to the socials, but good news. Following on from that, for 2 of our ladies, Chloe Lacasse and Viviana Miedema, who both have had their goals nominated for the Women's Super League Goal of the Season award.
Chloe, it is her long-range scream away to Manchester United that has been selected.
It was the one goal that saw us salvage a point in the second game of our season as she scored in the 93rd minute with that long-range screamer. As for Viviana, it was her smashing one into the top right corner away to Liverpool that's up for nomination, as that strike helped the Gunners to a 2-0 win against them on that day in January.
We will post the link up and in the show notes if you would like to vote for in the next few days.
Yes, and they're up against a few others, but let's show our ladies our support.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up. Thanks again for joining us on us at Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Before we sign off, we want to express our gratitude to you for your continued support. If you haven't already, follow, like and subscribe so you don't miss us in the future. We will keep working on our season review episodes, but we'll keep to our normal schedule for the next few weeks before we take a break in late June, early July. But remember, it's your love for the beautiful game that fuels our passion.
And we would love for you to spread the word about Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Yes, please share our podcast with other Arsenal kids you know. Help us to grow this amazing community together.
We hope to join you back on the pitch again soon.
Keep the spirit of the game alive, and until next time.
Goodbye.